nothing. It's a card from my dad.
What is it? Dear son, happy Festivus? What is Festivus?
It's nothing. It's nothing.
When George was growing
Jerry,
up,
no.
his father hated all the commercial and religious aspects of Christmas, so he made up his own holiday.
Oh, and another piece of the puzzle falls into place.
Now, I may be cheating with this one because technically it's not a Christmas episode, it's a Festivus one.
A Festivus for the rest of us!
Seinfeld proved that even in its final season it had plenty gas left in the tank when it gave us Season 9, Episode 10, The Strike. But let's be honest, that's pretty much just what you get when you Google Festivus episode, and that's probably what you're going to Google this time of year. That being said, everything in this episode clicks. Elaine's story of trying to get a free sub but having lost her card and having to get it back with an elaborate game of telephone because of all the fake numbers she's giving out to guys is a lot of fun.
Why don't I give you my phone number? I bet I wrote that fake number on the back of it when I gave it to Denim Fest. So anyway, I've been giving out your phone number as my standard fake.
Well, your real number. You just, give it to me, and that way I'll have it.
Okay,
Jerry dating a Two-Face.
Hi, I'm Jerry.
Hi. Come on, our table's ready.
So attractive one day, not attractive the next.
Have you come across this?
She's a two-face.
Hey,
Boy, am I glad to see you.
you expecting someone else?
You never know.
George creating a fake Christmas charity that he's making donations to called The Human Fund. Please donate this time of year.
A donation has been made in your name to the Human Fund. What is that?
Made it up. What's this? The Human Fund. Whatever. Exactly.
Kramer, us finally learning what he has been up to and why the episode is called The Strike.
Great news. Yeah, the strike's been settled. I'm going back to work.
What strike?
H&H Bagels, that's where I worked.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
Well, Jerry, I didn't want you to know I was out of work. It's embarrassing.
Really, we all love and remember this one because of how crazy and ridiculous Festivus is.
You gather your family around and tell them all the ways they have disappointed you over the past year. And is there a tree? No, instead there's a pole. Requires no decoration. I find tinsel distracting.
The made-up holiday was created by George's father and actually inspired by one of the writers on staff's father, and Kramer takes a big interest, much in the way a lot of people have in real life, taking interest in creating their own Festivus. And it's ludicrously entertaining. Naturally, that gives us the fantastic combination of Frank Costanza and Kramer, and anytime they're together, it's absolute gold. I also feel like this episode goes a long way in explaining why George is the way he is, because let's be honest, if you grew up with Festivus in your house, you probably wouldn't be, well, you'd probably be George too.
George, Festivus is your heritage. It's part of who you are.
That's why I hate it.
Of course, what's also amazing about this is that George is discovered to have created a fake charity, and his only way out of that is to champion Festivus.
Memo here from accounting telling me there's no such thing as the Human Fund.
I don't really celebrate Christmas. I celebrate Festivus.
Feminist.
Festivus. Sorry.
Something Seinfeld always masterfully does is it kind of folds stories together at the very end, and getting all that through the guise of the Festivus meal is just absolutely outstanding. Watching all the dominoes fall and the stories tangle, it's just a glorious mess to watch.
What are you doing here?
Embracing my roots.
They nailed you on the 20 Gs?
Busted cold.
Hello again, Miss Bennett.
What are you doing here?
I told them I was just about to see you. It's a Festivus miracle.
Gwen, wait! Ah! Bad lighting on the porch.
Seinfeld is an outstanding show anyway, but this is an example of an episode where it's just firing on all cylinders and really shows some of the hallmarks that made the show great. Like the comedic observation that, guess what? Someone would look really good in certain lighting, and if you met them for the first time, that lighting, and then there was good lighting on and off sometimes, they're not always going to look as good. But we obviously get those observations through Jerry. Then we get a character, which is a classic in Seinfeld, of them telling a lie, continuing to grow, and then exploding in their face with Elaine and with George. Especially the George character, we have that desperation of having to crawl back to something he hates just to survive. He's very cockroach in that regard. We have the fantastic revelation that Kramer, guess what, he hasn't been unemployed. He's been on strike for the whole duration of the show, which is outstanding. Whoever came up with that deserves a raise. And then we have the creation and introduction of Festivus, which is just so delightfully crazy, but weirdly believable for the characters in the show. It feels like there's enough history and elements there that you can't actually celebrate, and people seemingly do. What can I say? It's just an absolute Christmas classic. Sorry, Festivus classic. It's one that I'm delighted when it's always underneath the aluminum pole for me, and certainly there'll be no airing of grievances from me about this episode.
Tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're gonna hear about it.
Oh, did you enjoy that, boys and girls? Well, listen, I don't want milk and cookies. I've had enough of those. I want you to like and subscribe. And remember, each day up to Christmas, we'll be unwrapping a new video of a Christmas classic TV episode. Ho, ho, ho. Be sure to come back. I have to go. Christmas.